Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of Oxford News This Week. Oxford Village spending some money on a new piece of equipment, very needed piece of equipment, and the holidays coming home to Oxford. That and more on this edition of Oxford News This Week. The Oxford Village Council recently spent nearly $200,000 on a new wheel loader for the Department of Public Works. At its most recent meeting, the council did decide to replace the village's 1992 John Deere wheel loader with the Department of Public Works Supervisor Don Brantley saying it's been giving workers some issues while using it. The new Case 621G wheel loader from Southeastern Equipment is expected to do at least 25 and 30, it lasts for 25 and 30 years. The model was chosen from three others for its visibility, service aspects, and user friendliness. And the council member, Jacob Nicosia, said it was the most reasonable price for the service and everything that comes with it. The village will receive an $18,000 in trade-in value toward the purchase of the new wheel loader. The council also approved removing 3 diseased trees from Centennial Park for up to about $3,000. Council President Kelsey Cook said the trees' conditions present public safety issues. Brantley also added that the trees planted in the village sidewalks continue to grow. They will fill in the areas where the diseased trees are now standing. Jumping to the township, the Charter Township of Oxford taking its oath for the Township of Oxford. Members of the 2024-2028 Oxford Township Board of Trustees recently began their terms after their swearing-in ceremony. At the township offices, the Honorable Laura E. Polsey, judge of the 52nd 3rd District Court in Rochester Hills, administered the oath of office. The Board of Trustees' brand new members, Trustee Jeffrey Olmfeld and David Wagner. Polizzi also swore in local officials from the Oxford Township Parks and Recreation Commission and also members of the Addison Township Administration as well. These electees elected include Addison Township Supervisor Bruce Pearson, Addison Township Treasurer Michael McDonald. Polizzi herself was reelected in November on November 5th. The election will continue to serve as a judge for the next 6 years until she faces another bid for that seat as a judge. The Oxford Leader and Detroit Free Press and the Detroit News all getting together. It's been about 3 years since the Oxford High School tragedy. The families of the victims are saying and asking questions of accountability. They held a press conference in which, again, those members of the organization showed up at that press conference at the end of November, calling for state lawmakers to mandate a fund of new independent investigations into the events leading up to the tragedy. To date, no investigation has actually been completed with 100% participation of all the individuals tied to the tragedy. The families say it's been 3 years of excuses from the governmental agencies calling for an investigation to create change to protect others. Attorney General Dana Nessel also held a press conference that same day saying she needed a referral from either the county prosecutor or the sheriff to take over the case and initiate a statewide investigation. With the subpoena power, 2 days later, the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office said it's working to provide Nessel with the proper documents to allow her to launch the investigation. The first significant sign that an investigation would move forward, Nessel and Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald had been at odds over the process of review and whether or not it's the Attorney General's office that needs permission. Now Oakland County Chief Assistant Prosecutor David Williams says the prosecutor's office will provide the Attorney General with whatever is necessary to make this investigation happen. In some other school news, the Michigan State University College of Music Jazz Band is set to visit Oxford real soon. On December 7th, Oxford High School student musicians will have the opportunity to spend a day in clinics taught by the Michigan State musicians. Then the students will open up for the Jazz Up Your December concert, a partnership with the Michigan State Band. Oxford High School students will open, and then the Michigan State Jazz Band and bassist John Clayton will take on at the Performing Arts Center. Concert is actually free and open to the public. Performance again will start at 7 p.m. that evening. Oxford Community Schools hopes it will fill the seats to support all the students, no matter where they are in their jazz journey. Sounds like a nice way to kick out the holidays. The Oxford Downtown Development Authority is looking for vendors and volunteers to help bring in the holiday season. The DDA is bringing back 3 winter events this year in December. The first, Soup and Sweet Stroll. That'll be on December 6th, the night before the parade. 15 different downtown Oxford restaurants are making a signature soup or sharing a sweet with ticket holders, and an event includes a visit from Santa Claus, carolers, craft stations, the annual tree lighting in Centennial Park. The DDA is seeking volunteers to set up, run the event, and clean up after of the night of festivities. They will actually help the businesses stay organized, full supplies of run craft stations for families, volunteers to get free tickets for soup and sweet tastings, and free to attend the tree lighting as well. It's all free. To sign up and volunteer as a volunteer, visit the Oxford Downtown Development Authority Facebook page, Oxford DDA Facebook page, and then the Polar Express trolley rolls into town on the 15th of December, and with it comes the Downtown Oxford Holiday Market. The market is indoors, and the DDA is seeking vendors specifically selling holiday-themed products such as wreaths, ornaments, and unique gifts. Vendors can apply right there on the DDA website. Maybe you have something to sell for the holidays. Also, looking forward to the news coming from the sheriff's office, and also a powerful explosion just the other day seriously injured 2 people, destroyed 18 total units at the Keatington Newtown condominiums in Orion Township. That happened just the other day. Orion Township Fire Chief Ryan Allen said 2 people were critically injured, were transported to the hospital. A few more individuals sustained minor injuries. The Oxford News this week reported at the reporting time, 1 person was in non-critical but stable condition, and the other was actually being guarded in a guarded position. Both are seeking improvements to their health. Again, we'll advise when they are out of the hospital. The blast left dozens of condo residents homeless, and the sound was reportedly heard and felt for miles. The fire engulfed at least one of the condos, drawing out first responders from more than a dozen local agencies. Officials say the investigation into the explosion could actually take weeks. Consumers Energy is still reviewing whether the explosion was linked to the gas leak, and said there are no known issues on the natural gas into that building. Orion Township is advising residents who wish to make donations to support the affected can drop off clothing, food at Woodside Bible Church, and make cash donations to Love Inc. of North Oakland County. Again, Love Inc. is a verified charitable organization that will actually help the victims impacted with that explosion just the other day. Oakland County is working to transform a historic building into an affordable housing. The Casa del Rey building in Pontiac is a century-old. Developers Gregory and Ronita Coleman are working with the city of Pontiac to address the growing need for accessible housing. The Casa del Rey is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The underdevelopment project understands this and merges historic preservation with commitment to creating housing for families. The Coleman developers are Pontiac natives. Gregory says their mission is a commitment to community growth, empowerment, and resilience. The project involves working with multiple partners to ensure the project was the resources and guidance it needed. Partners include Oakland County's Land Bank, Authority members Jill Robinson, who said the project is a long-awaited solution. Project leaders recently broke ground on with dignitaries of the community. Leaders said it's a shared commitment to the part of revitalizing the city of Pontiac. In our Behind the Lens segment, this turkey sure is very thankful. Governor Gretchen Whitmer recently continued the tradition of pardoning the turkey just before the Thanksgiving holiday. Nearly 4,500 Michiganders of all ages submitted entries to name the lucky bird. The winning name actually has a Detroit Lions attachment, Aiden Cluckinson. That was submitted by Valtina of Salvian. The name was one of hundreds of submissions based on the Just as a Lucky Detroit Lion. The two other finalists, Gobblerton and Cranberry Sanders, were also named after Lions legend. Aiden Cluckinson, along with Dolly Parton and Mitch E. Gander, are the three turkeys Governor Whitmer has pardoned since she took office. And hope everybody has a safe Thanksgiving and a happy holiday in the upcoming weeks ahead. Stay there. Dave Kenny's coming up. He'll have a segment. I'll be back with some sports. I will have the last story today. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News, and they're all recalls. General Motors is recalling 461,839 diesel engine vehicles due to a faulty transmission control valve. The defect can lead to wear and tear, resulting in a gradual loss of pressure and a temporary wheel lockup, increasing the risk of a crash. The recall affects the following vehicles: the 2020 to 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1525 and 3500, and GMC Sierra 1525 and 3500, and 2021 Cadillac Escalade SUV, ESV that is, Chevrolet Suburban, Tahoe, and GMC Yukon and Yukon XL models equipped with these diesel engines. The Detroit automaker reported 11 incidents related to this issue, and in some cases vehicles veered off the road and caused minor property damage, according to documents filed with NHTSA. 3 minor injuries were reported, though none were directly tied to the specific defect. GM first learned of the issue in June when a company engineer reported it through the company's Speak Up for Safety program. A customer claimed the wheels on a 2021 Sierra 2500 HD locked up while towing, causing damage to the vehicle and its trailer. Dealers will install new transmission control module software to monitor the valve and detect excess wear roughly 10,000 miles before a wheel lockup could occur. Dealer notifications began at the end of October, and owners will be notified starting on December 9th. The safety and satisfaction of our customers are our highest priorities, and we're working to resolve this matter as quickly as possible, GM said in a statement. And over at Tesla Incorporated said it was recalling 2,431 Cybertruck electric pickups in the U.S. as loss of drive power could increase the risk of a crash. It is the 6th recall of the polarizing truck in the U.S. this year. A fault in the drive inverter in Cybertrucks manufactured between November 6, 2023 and July 20th of this year could cause the part to stop producing torque when the driver uses the accelerator pedal, resulting in a loss of propulsion and increasing the risk of a collision, Tesla said in a report filed with NHTSA. Tesla will replace the recalled drive inverter with one equipped with a functioning component at no extra cost, it said. Last month, the EV maker said it would recall more than 27,000 Cybertrucks due to delayed rear-view camera images that could impair driver visibility and increase crash risks. After a 2-year delay due to production and battery supply challenges, Tesla began delivering its futuristic Cybertruck in 2023. The company has not disclosed specific production or delivery numbers for the model. The Blade Runner-inspired truck, launched to revitalize the company's aging lineup amid slowing growth in EV demand, is under close investor scrutiny due to its significant development costs. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back. We're doing some sports. Oh yeah, 9 new athletes headed off to their next chapter in life. Each student athlete officially committed to continuing their athletic journeys at the collegiate level. It was the first signing day of the school year, bringing together students from 7 different sports. They gathered in the Oxford High School gymnasium, each of which had a special table decorated to fit the theme of the college that they had signed to. With their national letter of intent, the group was pledged to continue Wildcat sports legacy in their new stadiums, fields, and pools. The students will study and play in the places ranging from Saginaw Valley State University to Southern Virginia University. Congratulations to the entire group on their great achievements. Good stuff there. Always good to see the athletes taking it to the next level. OxfordStrongAthletics.org, this is where this story comes from. With the last parts of the postseason now wrapping up, the final standings for fall sports are in. 2 fall teams took home the league championship titles. Congratulations to the Oxford football team on the OAA Red Division title, and a way to go to the Oxford volleyball team on winning the OAA White Division. 7 out of 8 fall teams finished in the top half of their respective league standings. Some standouts included the boys soccer winning the district regional championships and the boys cross country team qualifying for a state final. At the end of one season comes the beginning of another. Oxford's co-op hockey team, the North Oakland Eagles, have already played several games, and many other teams are holding their first matches of the season right now, including the Oxford girls and boys basketball team, varsity bowling, bar wrestling, and boys swim and dive team. Good luck with this upcoming season. And that's going to wrap it up in sports. Again, we'll have Dave Kenny back. I'll do the last story. We'll finish this edition of Oxford News This Week. Stay there. Don't go away.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When the world's endangered animals need help most, when their lives are at greatest risk, when they would otherwise be lost, the International Fund for Animal Welfare is there, taking action to rescue the animals we love, to protect them and their threatened natural habitats. But the danger to animals the world over is growing, and the need for your help has never been more urgent. On land, you'll help stop poachers from threatening and killing elephants and big cats for the illegal wildlife trade. In the oceans, you'll help rescue dolphins, whales, and seals from deadly hazards. And you'll help rescue, rehabilitate, and release vulnerable animals when disasters strike. Here at home and around the world, we can't do this work without you. See how you can help animals and people thrive together at joinifall.org.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the US population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Data from millions of phones has helped produce the most complete map ever made of the ionosphere, part of Earth's upper atmosphere. This could help us understand disturbances caused by geomagnetic storms and perhaps even improve GPS. Smartphone-based measurements cover twice as much of the ionosphere as traditional scientific monitoring stations, says Brian Williams at Google Research. It's like there is a scientific monitoring station in every city where there are phones. Williams and his colleagues analyzed data from 40 million Android phones to calculate how the ionosphere charged particles affect the time it takes for radio signals to travel between each phone and GPS satellites in orbit. This was previously considered impractical because phone-based measurements can be 30 times noisier than signal data from dedicated GPS monitoring stations. To solve this, the researchers combined measurements from the millions of phones to produce a clearer overall map of ionospheric conditions while also accounting for the smaller antenna and less sophisticated GPS hardware in each phone. Google already plans to use this method to improve the accuracy of GPS location-based services for Android phone users, possibly reducing location errors by several meters. These improvements could also be beneficial for driverless cars that rely heavily on GPS, says Charles Lin at the National Cheng Kung University in Taiwan. Continuous monitoring of the ionosphere using phone-based data may also help with short-term forecasting for solar storms and similar space weather events, says Williams. This was tested in May when the system was used to measure the effects of a geomagnetic storm that struck Earth. The mapping also revealed ionospheric phenomena called plasma bubbles, which can interfere with radio communication and satellite navigation over South Asia. These weren't captured by the few available monitoring stations in the area. Researchers have previously used ionospheric monitoring to track disturbances caused by major volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and even rocket or missile launches. But Williams cautioned that measuring smaller ionospheric changes from such events would still require the precision of scientific monitoring stations. The new method currently requires regions with widespread cell phone usage, which leaves out oceans and certain sparsely inhabited places, says Quentin Broussard at NORSAR, a seismic research foundation in Norway. But he welcomed the overall improvement in the coverage of ionospheric disturbances, and Lynn says he hopes such monitoring is extended. If researchers can further map the ionosphere using cell phones of the passengers on airlines or ferries, we can even fill in the gap of the missing data over the ocean, says Lynn. And that's all a good thing. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
Back with you on Oxford News this week. In our last story this week, finding harmony in the holidays. 10-year-old Harmony Henry is this year's grand prize winner of the Skillman Foundation's float design contest. Quite an honor, actually. For 33 years, the foundation has sponsored the creation of the float designed by a student to travel up and down the M1 Woodward Avenue in America's Thanksgiving Day Parade that is seen all over the world. This year's design contest focused on the theme that we are better together. President and CEO of the Pullman Foundation, Angelique Power, said it's not easy to choose winners among all the entries, but Harmony's drawing checked all their boxes. The drawing and now the float features all the types of people working together to make the world a better place. Harmony will now have the chance to ride that float on the M1 Woodward Avenue again on Thanksgiving morning. Good stuff there. Quite an honor for that to happen, and a traditional kickoff to the Christmas holiday season in Southeast Michigan. Anyway, it's great to have you along with us. I hope you're ready for a nice holiday coming up, and however you choose to spend it. I hope you can spend a little bit here on OCTV, as we can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the ATT Uver system. You can also check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Amazon Fire Stick, and of course the Roku app as well. If you have a show idea, we encourage you to contact our office at OCTV. You can give our office a call at 248-628-9658. Special thank you going out to our producer and director, Kyle Snage, news writer Allison Miller, and of course our station manager, who's very busy these days, Terry Stiles. For everyone here at OCTV, I'm Jim Hughes, hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next time. We will take a look at Oxford News this week. Just a friendly reminder, if you can do it, shop local. I hope you're having a great holiday. See you next week.